just going to start it, and you just start talking whenever you want.
I felt like, as far as the grant was concerned, when I finished with it, I was a much better teacher, and my students were much better off for a large variety of reasons. One of which was the collegiality that it introduced, as far as my being able to associate with other teachers in the district at all levels, and also beyond that, bringing in regional and national speakers and going to conferences. There were so, and at the college level, the professors we had, you had so many different levels that had all kinds of different strategies and ideas. It was a really valuable experience.
Okay, I agree with you, Cindy. Coming from an elementary background, I did not have a history degree. I chose to move up to middle school, and I chose to teach social studies. So the American History, Teaching American History grant really gave me an opportunity to beef up my knowledge on American history. And just the chance to spend 3 years with KU college professors, earning credit, and getting invaluable information about American history has been just, I think it has had a tremendous impact on my students as well. Not only me, but then I am able to relay that to my students.
And I think our students are doing more history, not just studying history, but actually more hands-on, more active, engaged learning, because we're bringing in primary sources, which we were able to find many sites online, and the professors gave us additional places to go to get those sources. And I really think it's been helpful for the students as far as they're being able to take away what a historian really does, what history is really about.
Right, exactly. I also had that down as one of the things that I really enjoyed about the grant, and just having a chance to go to several different archives and learn how to use primary sources. And that's been something then that I made a goal to do with my students, was to use the primary sources at least once a month or once a unit. And I've continued my study for that. And actually this summer I'm going to go to a primary source workshop. So I really hadn't used primary sources very much before this opportunity. So definitely that was a benefit for me.
I had, but they were hard for me to find. I didn't think that I really had a good handle on it, and I really felt like the grant introduced us to a lot of people who had the right approach and who also knew where to find the sources. And I really feel like the students actually enjoy, reading those or looking at those sources, probably more than they do reading their history book.
Yes, definitely.
And they remember a lot of it better in the long run.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the history book, I also wrote down that this grant gave us an opportunity to build a very large American history library. And we were able to learn a lot about things that aren't in our textbooks, particularly minorities. And we had professors that were experts in different minorities. One taught us a lot about Native Americans. We had another professor who taught us about African Americans and then women in history. And so a lot of times I think our textbook leaves some of that out. And we as teachers then are able to learn that and be able to relay that to our students as well.
I agree. I feel like some of our textbooks actually use the social history approach, but it's so subtly done that you really have to make it an emphasis in the classroom and make students aware of what it is that they're actually reading. So I agree with you on that. And the other thing that goes with both the learning of the approach toward that, the strategies that we were able to do, I think in the long run helped us get the students to understand, in a position where they were learning various things at different levels but reinforcing. I think we scaffolded much better because we were able to discuss things like that. We were able to share strategies, and because of the fact that they helped us with those voices, etc., and ways to get those across.
Exactly. Well, that was another huge perk for me, was just being able to meet colleagues from across the district, not only in my own grade level, but in high school. And one of our goals as social studies teachers would be to vertical team.
Yes.
And we got to do that on a regular basis, just to see what you expect from us, the high school teachers, what they expect from the middle level teachers. And that was a big benefit. Like you said, learning different strategies, teaching strategies, some new ones, things to engage the students.
Well, and I also think that for high school students, or for high school teachers, it was equally valuable for us to get the strategies that you all use, and to know that sometimes we could use those for differentiation, sometimes they were workable in a slightly different way at a different level, but the fact that we all, I think, grew such an appreciation for what the other did.
Yes.
And I think that probably in the long run was a major benefit for our students too, is that we all valued their total experience in, you know, social studies within the district, and knew that they were getting solid background. And all of us, I think, came together with a common goal there, and that's always going to be beneficial for students.
Okay. Well, finally, my last point, I think, on this is that I feel like I became a better teacher. And my knowledge increased so tremendously, and so I'm just sorry for the students I had before, maybe.
No, I'm sure not.
But now I just feel like I am a better teacher, and my students definitely will benefit from that.
I totally agree. I know I'm a better teacher than I was, and I know that the students have had better experiences in the classroom than they had prior to the CLIO experience that we had.
Very good.